Hello and welcome back to the garden. So this little video is just going to show you guys basically what I've been working on this weekend. So I've put in a new border along the side of my gravel driveway, and the main reason for that is to basically soften all the gravel because when I did this redesign in January 2025, everything else is filling in really well and it all looks nice and green and lush, and it's creating the vibe which I originally set out to do. But I felt that on this side, which I'll show you in a minute, there's just too much gravel, and the way the cars park on the drive, it wasn't really necessary to have that extra space. So I've decided to put in a new border. It's a fairly straight border, but I also wanted to utilise some of the plants which I had in pots around the place. So I've sort of come up with a design which utilises those particular plants and creates a different vibe, a different type of border to what I've currently got in the rest of the garden, but kind of fits in with it as well. So it has been a little bit of a challenge to think exactly how this is going to work, but I'll show you basically what I've been doing on that one. So if you're enjoying the videos, please can you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel, because you will get future updates on how the gardens are progressing here. So let's go and have a look at the border. Okay, so first of all, let's just give it a little bit of context as to where the border is. So as you drive up the main drive to my house, it then basically goes around into this car parking zone here, and there's obviously the other cars here on the left on that bit. So earlier on a few weeks ago, I had basically curved off these borders that go around the house here. But as you came to the end there, this is the area where there was just too much gravel on there. So what I've basically done is I've made a border that is probably about a metre and a bit wide, and I've used the same kind of red bricks that are used on the house and everything. So you can see it kind of merges with the existing border here on the left, which was in there, which has been in quite a few years actually. It's not entirely finished yet. I still need to add more soil in here because I dug out quite a lot of rubbish soil that was underneath, to be honest, like full of rocks and everything, which is not surprising as it was part of the driveway here. So yeah, I need to add some more soil to it. I need to peg down the leaky hose, which I've just laid out there for the moment, and then I need to wood chip it when it's finished. So I've got some wood chip here, but I will need obviously a lot more. So what I've decided to do is I had 4 pots here before, which were the 2 Cordyline Torbay Dazzler, which is just near where we sell our eggs from. And there was another couple of plants which were similar to phormiums, but not phormium. And I've moved those to another location in the garden. And what I've done is I've put these 2 Cordylines in the ground. So I'm hoping to get some establishment with these before the winter. So hopefully they root in really well and just add a little bit of height on there. So what I've done design wise as well is I've used some of the Begina, which I've used in other locations around the front of the house, which you can see there. Kind of nicely edges the front of the border on there, so that will fill in and it will overhang the front of the edge of the bricks there. What I've also added in is I've got in the back garden, I have one dahlia, which is an amazing what they call a dinner plate dahlia. So it has very large red flowers, lovely dark red on there. I've got one of those in the back border in my garden, but unfortunately I had no space to put anything else in there. So what I've basically done here is I've put 3 of these dahlias, which is central here. So they are the same variety as the one in the back. And I've put them kind of staggered in between these palms. And there's a reason for that. And that basically is, I've got two palms here, which is this one is a Princeps crossed with a Fortunii, I think, on that one. So it's got lovely leaves on there. And we have another Trachycarpus here, which is Nanatal, I think. So quite different leaf types there. You can see one's got quite long floppy leaves on it, and the other one is very architectural and very tight looking. So eventually these are obviously going to grow up into the space there, and in between obviously the dahlias can stay there, because as these get higher they will be kind of occupying that space. The only drawback really is in the winter there's going to be a gap there, but the Begina will help fill in around the edge anyway on there. And obviously I wanted something that can still kind of stay in that position. Now, frost wise for the winter, this particular border, it's quite near the hedge here, so it's reasonably well protected from frost. And you've obviously got, this is south facing, which I'm looking now, so it's actually west facing border, so it gets the afternoon sun and everything. And to be honest, from about midday it will get sun even in the winter here. So I've had to improve the soil quite a lot as well. So I've added in a load of manure. I've added in some slow release feed for the palms as well, and basically dug in loads of decent quality topsoil and all of that lot. So hopefully it will be quite nutritious for these plants. There is a bit of a brick wall at the back there which protects the it actually stops the roots from the privet hedge beyond from going over. So yeah, the idea with this border is that the two Trachycarpus and the two Cordyline Torbay Dazzlers, they will basically give the evergreen architectural structure, and obviously the dahlias will give the fantastic massive flowers and massive colour impact in the summer, with the Begina adding some pink flowers in the spring on there. Now I haven't put too many other types of plants in here because I don't want it to look too chaotic, and although technically it's a little bit more symmetrical than a lot of my other plantings, when these two palms grow, they will have like really good impact in this area. And another consideration as well is that I've had these two palms in pots for about a year now, and they really need to go in the ground as soon as possible. They're at a size now so they should do reasonably well in the winter and not get too shouldn't spear pull or anything like that because of their location, and they've still got the rest of this year to get growing on there. So yeah, so that's the new border. As I say, not completely finished yet, but I'm really pleased with how it looks, and it does add a different dynamic to the garden, and it will definitely soften all this shingle when that grows on there. So yeah, look at this, is just looking south at the front garden, which is looking absolutely fantastic. It's the best this garden's ever looked, I must say, on there. I really love the new planting, and there's lots of colour in there. I do have another video coming up as well, which is one detailing everything in flower at this time of year in my garden, so please check out that video. And I hope you've enjoyed this one. Obviously I will do updates on this border as things kind of grow and start to establish, and as mentioned at the beginning of the video, please don't forget to click the like button and hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't subscribed already. And thank you for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one.